One.
Welcome back, folks. Thanks for sticking with us through the technical difficulties. My name is Owen, aka Saga Smith, and this is No Theoretical Bias. This week we come back again to the Fortress of Bone crew, who's doing some minor explorations of the City of the Dead, the Necropolis, the vast unknown. They've run into the bug people, which is nice. They're not really bugs, but they look like them because they're trying to. They've run into the Rekka, the rat folk, and the Rekka have introduced them to a scout and an alchemist, Rala the scout and Krikri the alchemist. They are interested in information, though not overly wild about that whole alliance with the Temple of Light. But they were able to give the crew some good information, including the extensive holdings of the Dominion. Lots of little towns and lots of scary fortresses. Also, one piece of information that they didn't have: there is a fortress. There's a Dominion fortress or stronghold somewhere here in the Dead City that has seen better times. So, armed with that knowledge, we're back. And what do you do?
Okay, so I feel like we should head towards the Dominion Fortress. The
I too also think that.
now I
Okay.
know.
I mean, we
Okay,
could.
Now I know that there's gonna be a lot of them, but it'll be. We could just scout it out. We're just a scout group. There's just there's just four of us. We're there to like figure stuff out. So I feel like we should go for the bigger fortress that they abandoned. They abandoned
Okay.
it correctly. Correct.
That's the information that you got. The problem is on the map here. The fortress is over here, probably still well within buglands, and you have not yet encountered any of the giant bug things. So that's a big question mark. And you are currently right about here, right on the edge of things. So, if you are going to get there, a direct line would probably be problematic, just because you're going to be going through a bunch of stuff. Also, from here, you notice something when you were in the little safe house that the rat folk had set up. There's some slim observation windows that they obviously had cut or dug into these adobe walls of the building, and it's just a narrow little thing. Directly in line of sight, though, is some sort of tower or edifice. It's whatever it is. It's very tall, and it's right out here, direct line of sight. You don't think it's that's tokens. I didn't know token. You don't think it's that close. So if it's that far away, it's huge, and it looks like a huge tower from here somehow.
Right now we're looking at the map with the Dominion holdings, correct? Or are we
Oh,
looking at
sorry.
the map?
Sorry, other one. 10 seconds. Thank you. Okay, so you are about here, you think, somewhere on the edge of the Rekka area. Right over here is that tower. This little safe house may also be some sort of observation on that. The outpost that you've already scouted by going what you think was around the the outskirts of the bug territory is there. The other fortress is here, and it's so you can see where a direct straight shot might be problematic.
Would you guys want to go for that tower then? Maybe see if we can get observation on a lot of stuff.
Oh, Krikri and Arala are still. I'm sorry, Krikri and Sarzam are still here.
Okay,
So if you wanted to,
ask them.
yeah.
Yeah, let's. What what do they think about us possibly going for that tower?
Would it cost?
Um, you all seem like you got your hearts in the right place. I'm going to give you this one for free. Um, the to the best of our information, the fortress was overrun pretty thoroughly. The bugs came in with the heavy troopers, the firebugs, the flyers, and completely overwhelmed the defenders. We think they've got some underground holdings, but you know, bugs are pretty good at underground stuff. Um, so for the last 18 months, 2 years, we haven't seen any activity over there. I mean, just thought you should know you're paying for information. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything over there that's going to be helpful to you, but up to you to decide. Yeah, we've got to get back for a thing. Um, so I'll tell you what. And he points out three landmarks in the area that if you see them at a certain angle from each other, that'll point you right here. If you ever want to talk again, you can do the thing that y'all did with the trading, or just come in here. Let's see. He's looking at you. Oh, what are the temple colors again?
They are light blue and yellow.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, just if you can leave like a scrap of cloth or something here, light blue and yellow, like the outfit. Um, we'll know you're we'll know you want to meet. Let's say we check this pretty regular. Um, drop it off and check like every 2 days, right around noon. And if we can't set something up uh that fast, we'll leave sign that we were here. All it will be is a piece of cloth, and he goes like this with he doesn't have like big claws, but he's got nice little ones. He says it'll be a piece of cloth with three tear marks in it, like that. That'll let you know we found it, and we're getting set to come and talk. But yeah, just noon-ish, easy time to determine.
Interesting.
Anything else before we leave?
I don't
Thank
think.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. It's I mean, I don't say this often. Nice doing business with you. So,
That's with
and
you.
thank you. And he and Krikri fade out the door. You're impressed. They just seem to disappear into the landscape. And if the alchemists are that sneaky, you're a little concerned with how sneaky the assassin. So what do you do?
Do we want to head for the tower?
I think
I-
we head for the tower. Do you not want to head for the
Okay.
tower, Ranveer?
I mean, we can. I'm not saying no, but the
I think it would be.
description.
We could see. We could see what the bug swarm looks like, and see maybe if we could like, not that we could fight it, but if there's something we could do to possibly like avoid it. Maybe check out its patterns. Learn a few things about the people we may have to deal with later on.
Gotcha. So what's the plan?
I think we're gonna go from the rat kin area to here. That's the tall tower, right? The that you marked.
Yeah, the green circle is the tall tower. All right. So, define your approach. Are we going to be, um, oops, so that, oh, is it going to be straightforward? Hey, diddle diddle, straight up the middle, or is it going to be sneaky sneaky? Anybody doing anything special?
Are you guys sneaking or?
I'm sneaking.
All right.
I,
You guys can do
I'm
whatever you want, but I'm sneaking.
I'm dressed like
Okay.
a bug.
I'll
Okay,
sneak with you
that'll
just
help.
because we're not dressed.
That'll help. Okay, so of the folks who are sneaking, figure out which one of you is going to be the worst at it. And that's going to be a quick check, probably. So figure out who's going to be the worst at it. If they want to make the check, and then anybody else who's sneaking can do an assist roll on them. Ouch.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, all right. So, okay, I gotta ask, Ranveer, Luther, which one of you has the worst uh uh flick?
We have both have 0.
Okay. All right. Let's just go for the more interesting choice. Okay. So, Luther, mark experience. Ranveer, you tried. You tried. And it was probably one of those situations where Luther was going to step on something that would like make a colossally huge noise, and you like dove into the way and like pulled it out of the way, and you're both going, ha, and then something else fell over with a huge crash and a clatter. You don't know if anybody noticed, but um, as you're moving through, that's when something attacks you. Okay, so Albrecht, you've got your head on a swivel. You'll notice it first. There are 4 flying things dropping down with the sun behind them to attack you. What do you do?
Um, Mainly, there is not much that I can do as I have no long-ranged anything.
Okay, well, tell me the kind of thing that you would do, and I'll tell you if there's a move involved.
Mostly, I think what you do is just brace for combat.
Brace for impact. Okay, so you're going to be defending yourself. That looks like a safeguard roll. Go ahead and give that for me. Wow, excellent. So you hold 3. Don't know why that list didn't pop up on there, but safeguard gives you some options, including as long as you stand in defense, you can spend the whole 1 for 1. You can read it. You can redirect an attack from something else to you. You can have the attack's damage or effect. You can give an ally +1 forward against an attacker, or you can deal damage to the attacker equal to your level. And I'll give you this. You're close enough to the rest of the group. If you wanted to redirect an attack from one of them to you, that would work too. What's your call?
Okay. There it is. I think one would be having the attack.
Having the damage. Got it.
And I have 3, right?
You get 3. Correct.
um, Probably the other one would be +1 forward to an ally.
Okay. Who are you going to give the +1 forward to?
I think I'm going to give it to Xander.
Oh, good call. Okay. And
And then I think I will do the deal the damage equal to my level.
okay, perfect. Alrighty. So Xander, whatever you do next, you're going to get a +1 forward to it. Awesome, blossom. All right. And what level are you currently?
I'm level 2.
Level 2. Okay. The good news is you're set for a charge and you counterattack a riposte. Yeah, two damage bounces off of the chitinous exoskeleton, and they're on you. Xander, you've got bugs attacking each one of you, including Luther and Ranveer. What do you do?
I'm gonna do it. I'm also gonna try and safeguard. I'm gonna block Luther.
Okay, excellent. Go ahead and give me a roll. You are at +1.
All right, great. Safeguard.
Beautiful. Okay,
And
so you get 3 of those.
with the I am your shield feature, I'll be able to. Is there only 4? I'll be able to
Correct.
do all 4. So
hmm
I'll
Now,
redirect the attack.
I'll give you this one. Again, you're close enough. If you wanted to pick redirect twice, once for Luther and once for Ranveer, I would let you.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that twice then
Okay.
for each of them, and then I'll half the attack coming from uh, coming towards me, and then I'll
Okay.
give Luther a +1 against the bugs.
Beautiful. Okay. Albrecht, I forgot something. Go ahead and give me a D8, please.
Okay. Just a straight D8.
Correct. Oh, okay. The thing tries to bite you. Half of 1 would still be 1. Do you have any armor?
Yes, I have 2.
Okay. Okay, beautiful. Yeah. So your attack bounces off of its armor, its attack bounces off of you. You get a good look at it. It is a giant flying bug. And the wings seem oversized for the body. After you both bounce off each other, it circles around for another attack. All right, Xander, go ahead and give me a D8 +2.
All right. Let's see here. D8.
Ouch. So that would be 9. Take 5 points of damage, please, but do apply armor.
Okay.
All right. So Brother Xander is everywhere all at once, throwing himself in the way of attacks on both Luther and Ranveer. Takes a little bit of a hit, and I'm sorry, you give the +1 to Luther.
Yeah, +1 to Luther.
Luther, you have a target-rich environment. What do you do?
I'm gonna definitely try to back away from the violence, but
Mhm.
cast like a fireball.
Fireball. Okay. Is this going to be one of your heart blades?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. And you're going to go for the ranged version of that, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a Heartblade roll, please. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so currently you've got it, I'm assuming thrown near, so that's one of your 2. So it's currently fiery, thrown, near range, dangerous, and 3 uses. What is going to be your second choice?
Probably +1 damage.
Beautiful. All right, so go ahead and give me an attack roll with sharp or quick, your choice. Is that a straight 5?
Yeah.
Ouchie. Okay, this is also dangerous. So, you hit something, mark experience. Oh, that's even with the +1, it didn't help you. So you hit something that you didn't want, mark experience. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Well, I'm sorry, I have a stupid cat trying to get in on the act. Gosh, if I want to be mean, let's be mean. Yeah, you paste Albrecht right in the back with that. So go ahead and give me your damage roll there, and that is +1.
I have not done damage in a while. What do I roll?
Your damage effect is D8.
Okay.
Rolling low, we hope. Ouch.
Oh.
7 points of damage. 7 points of damage there. Albrecht, do apply armor. And yeah,
Okay.
you zagged when you should have zigged. And yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, beautiful. All right. So that was unpleasant. Ranvir, you're up. Brother Xander has just parried, blocked, and bashed the bug that was trying to attack you. What do you do?
Are they like surrounding him?
Um, it's like a charge and attack, and then if the attack doesn't work, they spin around and come back in. They're all over the place.
First, I'm gonna see if I can cast magic weapon on my crossbow,
Sure. Go ahead and give me that roll.
and that's cast a spell, right?
Correct. Ooh, mark experience. Yeah. Yeah, you pour the energy into the crossbow to make a shot, and it's suddenly too hot to hold on to, and you drop it. All right, so Albrecht, you just took some friendly fire. Isn't so friendly, is it? You just took some
Mhm.
friendly fire. This bug is circling around for another attack, coming in at you. What do you do?
Okay. Hopefully, redirecting my anger anger towards the bugs instead of Luther. Albrecht is going to use his warhammer on the bugs.
Warhammer. All right, go ahead and give me a brawl roll, please. You stupid bug. Excellent. All right. So you can either do your normal damage or you can have an optional plus 1d6 damage, but you expose yourself to some enemy effect. Your call.
I think I'm going to do the my normal damage.
Normal damage. All right. Go ahead and give me a roll.
And so it's a D10.
D10. Yes.
Give me a second.
You got it.
Roll 20 is being a little bit weird.
Oh,
For some
that
reason.
never happens. That never
There we
happens.
go.
Actually, if you,
Okay.
I'll tell everybody this.
I fixed it.
I'll tell everybody this. If you click on the word damage on the character sheet, it'll just go ahead and roll whatever you have in there. So hit it, Albrecht. 2
Okay.
points of damage. Okay.
And then I
Again.
also get Merciless.
Oh, right. Plus 1d.
Actually,
1d.
and with Xander's thingy from level up, isn't it 2d4?
Hasn't
Yeah.
charged into battle yet.
Yeah, we haven't charged yet. We just got attacked
okay.
is the issue.
1d4 max damage for Merciless.
Nice. So 6 points of damage. There's a rending crunch, and the spike of your warhammer penetrates this thing's, well, not really skull. It doesn't have a skull, but penetrates the armor right between its eyes. Chud, and down it goes. All right, scratch one bug. Xander, you've got 3 hostiles coming in on you and your squishy friends. What do you do?
So the first thing I want to do is Luther has backed up and sufficiently shot our teammate. So
Yes, yeah, that did happen. Yes, sorry.
I think I'm gonna first just kind of like yell out, not yell out, I guess, because he's not far away, but I'm just gonna kind of like shout, I guess, like raise my voice a
Mhm,
little and say,
mhm.
"Stay with me," like because the closer he is, the less likely he is to hit somebody.
Right.
Um, and with that, I'd like to use the once more, which is when you command in battle, allies take +1 on going.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah. Okay, so Xander barks out a few orders that seem to make sense to everybody. So as long as you're following Xander's directions, you get, is it +1 forward or +1 on going?
+1 on going.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So anybody who's listening to what Xander has to say, you get +1 to everything you do while it's happening. Okay.
Question.
So, yo.
Could I stand with Xander for like a proper drop for a block, maybe?
Oh, for a safeguard?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to stand next to me and Luther stands behind.
Yeah. Anybody who wants to proper drop somebody that they have a bond with, or even if you don't, Yeah, if you just say, "Hey, I'm gonna help them do that voodoo that they do so well." Yeah, that's cool as hell. All right, so Xander, what do you do?
So, with that being done, and hopefully Luther will come up to me. I'll prepare a safeguard because I think honestly I just want to make sure that I block the damage output people.
Gotcha.
So, all
All right, go ahead and give me a safeguard, please.
right, let's do safeguard.
Okay.
Okay.
Even with a +1, that's not going to help you. So you get 1. Um, what's your call?
Well, with the I am your shield effect, I'll
Oh, you
can
get
I do
2.
the yeah? Can I do the 2 redirects for Ranveer and Luther again? Because Albrecht seems to have himself under control.
I will answer that question with another question. Luther, are you going to put yourself in a position where you can let Xander protect you?
Are you listening?
That's a good question. I think I would, but I'm trying to get Moku out of the way of danger.
Oh, Moku is under something now. Moku does not want anything to do with these bugs. All right, so yes, then you can protect both of them, brother Xander. Go ahead and give me a D8 plus 2.
All right. Let's see here. D8. So 4.
4 points of damage. Take 4 points of damage. Do apply armor. All right. Luther, you do get a +1 to your next action. What do you do?
I'm going for it again. I'm going to do it.
Cha. Go ahead and give me are you using quick or sharp?
I'm going to be using sharp.
Excellent. Hit it. Okay, that's a 10. That's full effect. Go ahead and give me your damage. Get off of there. Go ahead and give me your damage attack, please. And remember you have a +1 to that.
3 damage.
3. Okay.
And luckily, you didn't shoot me this time.
Yes.
Woo!
It scorches the heck out of. Oh, let me think. Now I'm going to give this one to you. With a 10. Okay. I'll give this to you. You can either deal the 3 damage, not great, or you can like do a special effect like burn off a wing. Your call.
Oh, I'm burning off a wing.
Okay, so knock one out of the sky. It's it's not dead, but it's not going to be able to take flight again. All right, so next up, Ranveer. Um, things are happening. What do you do?
I'm assuming my weapon's not cooling down.
You haven't had a chance to check.
Could I don't have any combat option.
Mhm.
But could I cast Sanctuary?
Sanctuary, yes, but Sanctuary takes time.
Hmm.
If you wanted to try to use like your light spell offensively, hit one in the eye with the bright light kind of a thing, you could try that.
I'll
Or
try that.
okay, do you have any weapons of any kind
I have
besides
my
the crossbow?
crossbow, but that's
Besides
on
the
the
crossbow.
ground.
Okay, besides the crossbow. Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead and give me a cast a spell with that light. Okay, so either it works. Oh, you get a +1. No, that still does not. Oh, it's also a hex. Still only +2. So yeah, either you're going to take -1 ongoing to cast spells. You lose access to the spell until you have a chance to rest. You gain unwanted attention, or something interesting happens, or you've transgressed and you're going to have to appease that patron later. Your call.
Taking -1 ongoing is like a
Okay.
death sentence for me.
Okay, gotcha.
Um,
And since you've got the empowered magic, oh, it wasn't on a 10 or better.
it would be
Never mind.
10+, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I'm gonna
So,
go for the gain unwanted attention or something interesting happens.
oh, okay, you want something interesting happen. Okay, so Ranver Hallsback throws a ball of light at one of the incoming bugs. It sticks to its head, like right next to one of the eyeballs, and it seems to be disoriented with the light in this uh, segmented, faceted eye, compound eye. But unfortunately, the other two, let's see, one's down. Oh, um, the one's trying to shake off the light effect, and you become the target priority. Even the one on the ground is skittering toward you specifically. They seem to be treating you as the main threat. So, Albrecht, what do? You shake the one bug off your warhammer. Now what?
I shall use my hammer again
Okay,
and kill one
which
of the ones going towards Ranveer.
okay, the one on the ground or one of the ones in the sky?
Let's do the one on the ground.
Okay, go ahead and give me a brawl, please. Wham!
Damn.
Again, do you want to deal additional damage or just do what you normally do?
What I normally do.
Gotcha. Give me a D10.
Max
Okay.
damage.
Wow. Yeah, you
Should I even
squash.
bother rolling merciless or?
No, 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 no. Yeah, you squash that thing flat. Basically, again, you're popping off heads like it's no tomorrow. All right, so two down. Xander, you've got these two buggy bugs flying toward Ranveer. You're not sure if it's because he's the smallest, but what do you do?
I think I'm just gonna keep going with the safeguard. The safeguard has been treating me right.
All right, and hit it. Excellent. So choose three.
I think I'll redirect the attack for Ranveer.
Mhm.
Is that there's two coming towards him?
You get four, don't you?
Yeah, I get four total. Yeah.
Okay. Quick reminder, folks, on mass combat. If a goblin stabs you, it's 1d6 damage. If six goblins stab you, it's 1d6 plus 5. Every additional attacker just gives them an automatic plus 1. So if the one guy is shooting a longbow at you, that's d8. If it's the entire battalion, that's d8 plus 75. Okay. So if you're protecting Ranveer, you're protecting him from every incoming attack at that point.
Okay.
So go for it.
So yeah,
Redirect.
I'll redirect. I'll have the damage. I'll give Luther plus one forward, and
Hmm.
then I'll deal 6 damage. I think 6 damage to the closest one.
You're sixth level.
Yeah,
Holy smokes.
I
Okay,
failed a
so
lot in the beginning.
yes, you did. All right. So go ahead and give me a. You got a D10, right?
Yes, I do.
Oh no, no, I'm sorry. You don't get to roll damage on that one. Sorry, it's six. Give me a D8 plus 1, please.
All right.
Okay, so that would be 7. Half of that would be 4. Take 4 points of damage. Do apply armor. And you step in the way of the two attacking Ranveer. While that's happening, Luther, you see that Xander has he used his shield to like knock one of them away from your two compatriots there, so you have a better shot on that one. You are currently only holding one fireball though, so and you get a +2 to whatever you do next. What do you do?
I mean, I'm just gonna kill one.
Boom. Go ahead and
Why not?
go ahead and give me a sharp roll, please. +2. 7. Okay. Bare bones, but it does hit. Go ahead and give me a damage roll, please. +1. Ah, okay. That did much more. Um, so you pound this one with your little fireball there. It completely engulfs the thing. You don't know why. Maybe there's an oil on the carapace or something, but it gives this hissing, popping scream as it falls to the ground and burns merrily. Um, So you've only got the one left, and it's got a light something or other on its head. Randveer, you think, just looking at it, you think your crossbow might be cool enough to pick up. What do you do?
Idea. Could I use my buckler as like a pound?
Oh yeah, you can do a shield bash, no problem at all.
Because he's like, is he blinded in 9?
It disoriented at worst, blinded at best.
Alrighty. So I will do that with my buckler.
All right, go ahead. Give me. That's going to be a brawl with hard.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. You pound the thing and it does an effect on you. So go ahead and give me class damage, please. Wow. Excellent. You're just knocking them out of the park. All right. So 4 points of damage to this thing. So there's a decided crunch. Instead of biting you, this thing grabs hold of you with 2 sets of legs and takes to the sky holding you. Albrecht, what do you do?
Okay. I would like to try and intervene by hitting it down before it could get too high with Renvir.
All right, you've got one shot at this. Give me a brawl. That will do it. That will do it. Again, standard damage or other?
Yep. Standard
Go
damage.
Go ahead. 4 points of
4
damage.
plus 1d4
Oh shoot,
for
I
merciless.
forgot. 7. Okay. Yeah, 7 does it. Go ahead and give me a no, that's fine. Okay, so Ranveer, you have just enough time to suck in a breath to scream, help me, help me, oh help me, help me, when the flashing hammer of Albrecht knocks this thing to the ground. Unfortunately, you are under it when it lands. You get the wind knocked out of you, but no major harm done. And you do have a minor bug guts issue on your clothes. All right, so score party 4, bug 0. But you now know that these things can pick up a fully grown person. Isn't that cool? What was the name of your dog again?
You're not fully grown. Moku.
Moku comes out of hiding and runs over and sniffs everybody and licks everybody hands and faces and whatever bared skin is immediately available, and then goes and sits down next to Luther. What do you do?
So who's damaged?
I'm damaged.
Alright, let's get some healing.
You should make sure that Moku's good first, though. You should totally just to make sure that Moku is A-okay.
How much damage did Xander get?
I won. My armor is so great that basically, yeah. So I'll take care of Moku. Ranveer, you focus on Albrecht. Don't worry, Luther. The dog will be okay.
The only damage I took was friendly fire.
That's true.
Quite literally friendly fire.
That's true.
What can I say?
Alright. So can I cast Cure Moderate Wounds on Albrecht?
Sure. Go ahead. Okay. Actually, let's see. I'm going to say since you're not under any immediate duress, you don't even have to roll that. Just go ahead and give me the healing roll, please.
Let me check what it is.
How far did we get to the tower before this happened?
Not close. Not close. You might have gone half a mile, maybe a mile. Okay,
7.
so
No,
11.
11.
Yeah, so heal up 11. And you're very
Me too.
hungry.
Okay.
You're very, very hungry now, Xander. You do have to eat something or you're going to be at penalty. Okay. While this is going on, anybody who wants to take a look, these giant flying bugs, they're quite disturbing in visuals. They look, the closest you can get is like a wasp. They've got the hangy legs and the wings again are oversized, and they've got a double set like dragonflies as opposed to the standard. And again, they're a slightly smaller than human sized, standard human. Um, these three of them are sort of a metallic green in color. You know, like you ever see those flies that have that metallic color to them? Three of them are like that. One is more of a gray, like a metallic gray, like a titanium or a steel. And their eyes are these huge orbs, which made them an easy target for you, Ranvir. These huge, multifaceted orbs of this. Um, they're a really, really. They look black, but if they catch the light, they're a really, really deep red and nasty, nasty uh, mandibles. They also have a really nasty looking stinger. So, um, so now that you're at this moment, you look ahead at the tower. The light is hitting it a little bit better now, and it looks less like it's got a very rough outline to it. This isn't like like a wizard's tower, perfectly cylindrical and smooth. From where you can see now, it's coming up in a slope to this huge, huge, huge tower. Um, just getting a sense of scale on it now. Um, dozens of feet tall. Um, maybe uh maybe taller. Um, yeah. No, definitely taller than that. Um, 10 or 12 stories maybe, and it tapers all the way up. It's broad, tapers all the way up, and apparently, um, the area you're in ruined city, ruined big town, but apparently it opens up ahead of you somehow. Not quite sure. What do y'all do?
You guys want to keep trying to sneak you two, or
I will.
I mean, it went well last time.
Okay, so I'll have you make some sneaky rolls here if it becomes important. All right, so you figure out why the sight lines open up because you get to a point. There's some alleys and streets and whatnot, but you get past a certain point, and all of the buildings are gone. Okay, um, down to like foundation. You see some holes here and there that prove to be like basements or cellars, just square holes in the ground that have partially collapsed. Um, but you're looking out over this fairly vast area that's been stripped down to the ground. In a lot of places where there were like roads and streets, even the paving stones have been picked up, like all the cobblestones. So you're just looking at this muddy expanse of um, open ground from you to the tower. And the tower is literally crawling with activity. Okay. You're seeing, even from this distance, you're seeing um, tiny little things flying around, catching the sunlight. You catch the glint of light off of some of those flyer carapaces. They're swarming around the top and going in. Apparently, there's an opening at the top going into this giant chimney. You see bugs of all sorts of different descriptions bustling around. It looks like a giant ant hive, is what it looks like. There, you can see some disappearing into these huge holes into the ground, and they've got like, a whole bunch of these little guys. I say little, whole bunch of these guys carrying stuff in, and then that's like to the left, and to the right is a whole bunch of empty-handed little buggies coming out to get more stuff. There are some really, really big ones, like the size of a draft horse. Um, you and they're moving around like draft horses around Shetland ponies. Um, you're watching. There seem to be like some sort of outbuildings, like these big lumpy buildings, until one of them gets up and moves, and you're like, that's a really, really big bug. But some of them are moving and looking like ants. Some of them are moving and looking like giant beetles. You've got those wasp things. Yeah, and there's dozens and dozens and dozens of these things. Not so many of the big ones. You only see 2 or 3 of those. But yeah. And again, the big ones are the size of a house. So what do you do?
Let's turn
We're
around,
turning
please.
around.
Yeah.
Let's turn around.
We're
Yep,
gonna
Yeah.
be gone.
Run away, run away. Okay,
Let's-
so
Yeah.
you do with somebody give me a luck roll just for giggles. Just 2d6, no modifier.
I got it.
Da, 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 da. Okay, so yes, you make it back to the safe house with no problems, and you have a minute to catch your breath and maybe have a little snack and decide what your next option is. What do you do?
So
Um,
obviously, trying to go to the tower is like certain death.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, certain death is pretty strong, but it would be a hell of a fight. Yeah.
Yeah. The house one would just have to walk over and sit on us. We could go to. We could go to the Peely, right?
Yeah, the pilly.
We could Pilly. Yep. So we could go to them, and we could just like restock food and stuff, and then like go around the bug territory a little bit north,
Hmm.
and then maybe go to the outpost there if you guys want.
Okay.
That sounds.
Okay. Sounds
I
good.
mean, maybe we also hit back the rat folk out of curiosity.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that would be the smartest way out of here. Is we go back through the. Well, what would we ask them or what would we tell them?
Um, I mean, I have a reason I want to go back. I need to find someone's uncle or something. I don't fully remember, but I need to find him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing I want to do. Naturally, we're a group, I guess, so I guess we can't all do what I want to do. So let's just get out of here.
I would like to just add that if we this made it sound insane, but if we do want to go back to the tower, remember I have a certain thing that could help with pest control.
What's
What?
that?
What?
What?
The grenade jug of the poison gas.
That's true, but I feel like that would
Oh.
take out like 5, and then the other 5 billion would come and kill us.
Hold up.
I mean, they're not the smartest.
I do have a little thing from the tower. Fortress of Bone. One of those crystal flame balls,
Yep. Yes, you do.
Mhm.
and combined with the gas.
That's a
Ooh.
boom. I have some like small cannonball explosive things as well, but
And if they're guarding the tower so heavily, could that been like a hive or a nest?
my guess is
It-
that's where the leader is.
The queen, yeah.
Yeah. Um, I'm sure that the Rekka already know though. You know what I mean? Like I don't think we don't have anything valuable for them right now. Um,
Yeah.
Luther, what if we went to the abandoned outpost, right, from the Dominion, and we did like this whole plan thing, and then when we come back, we tell the Rekka like, hey, this is what there is, and see if they can do anything for you. Because I think they need a little bit. I think we got to pay them a little bit more for the incense stuff. Because they need a little bit of time to work on it too.
I guess.
So thoughts on going back to the Pilly and then hitting up
I'm not opposed. We could also maybe talk about
bigger
the tower.
fortress? Yeah, we could tell the Pilly about the tower at least if they don't already. They might not already know. How heavy did those corpses look that we killed from the bugs?
How heavy?
Yeah.
Um. Uh. Probably. Well, let's see. You'd estimate like 100 pounds each, but if you try to shift one, they're actually lighter than that.
Oh.
They're probably like
Are
70.
they light enough for us to, if not carry, drag back to the Pilly just to give them something to work with armor wise?
Sure.
Or just
If one of you wants to burn one use of adventuring gear, you have like enough stuff to rig up, um call it a tarp. You know, you've got a heavy, like a heavy canvas tarp. You throw them all on the tarp and drag them. Now that might leave a fairly significant trail. So just as an FYI,
Mm.
but your call.
do you think these bugs will follow the trail?
If
I hope
with
so.
pheromones, maybe.
You hope so? Okay, Albrecht.
I hope so.
Okay. Um yeah, I'll try and haul them, but we should probably stay on the edge of the Rekka territory just to try and not mess with them too much with like this trail leaving.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Albrecht would probably want to do it
Okay.
Okay.
to haul them, because I think it also probably makes sense, just character wise, because I think Albrecht is probably the physically strongest out of the four of them.
Gotcha. Hey, Ranvir, go ahead and give me a sharp roll, please.
Uh-oh.
That's enough. Ranvir, you're looking. The things here have a fairly uh, consistent affect. They're bugs, so their insides are like gooish. Excuse me, the insides are squishy, and the outsides are hard, unlike boned creatures. So, where Albrecht hit the one in the head and hit the other one in the torso, there's a lot of goo just leaking out. Um, And since the Pili only use the outsides, dot, dot, dot,
We could skin the bug.
well,
We could
it
try
turns out it's less skinning and it's more putting two holes in it and banging on it until all the goo goes out one hole. But yeah,
We could
Let's
do
do that.
that instead of bringing them the whole carcass.
Let's drain the bugs then.
okay, cool. That doesn't take terribly long. You throw the whole carcasses onto the tarp, and now it's fairly easy for two or three of you to pick that up and carry it as opposed to drag it. Okay, so you're heading back straight to the Pili, or you're going back to the safe house?
Let's go back to the Pili first.
Okay. Okay, beautiful. You retrace your steps and then head north there. Um, some of the Pili scouts spot you, and they're excited. While several of them are scanning the skies and making sure that you weren't followed, one of them runs off to like mess up your back trail a little bit. The other one ushers you in. They exclaim mightily over the new armor materials that you've brought back. A couple of them are checking out mandibles. Oh, that stinger. Yeah, it's nasty. Um, and yeah, they when you cleaned out the bugs, the apparently the poison sac didn't go with that mess. So they're real excited about that. Um, and through Ranvir, who's picked up the language again or knew something similar, um, they ask you what you want to trade for that, because that's some good stuff.
Interesting.
They specialize in food and stuff, right?
Specialized is a strong word. They have access to some food sources and whatnot. But yeah, they've got food and they've got means to make drinkable water. So
Would they be open to refilling our rations for the in exchange for the armor?
oh heck yeah. Oh heck yeah. Yeah, they dig up the one chief again, and he's like, wow, this is a lot. This isn't a one-time, top off your tanks here, gentle beings. Yeah, this is a lot of building materials. This is a lot of poison for arrows. This is yeah. This is good. No, you've got a basically he says you've got a tab, okay, and we'll let you know when you're coming anywhere close to running out. Okay, but food and drink on us anytime you want to stop by and get some more. So yay, teehee, and they're very happy that you brought them back. So yes, several big notches on the Pili social scale. All right, so that being taken care of, and you're all and they throw some shrimp on the barbie and make you sit down for a good lunch. What do you do?
So do we want to head to the other outpost?
Yeah, let's go for a long trip around the bug territory.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Well, didn't we want to inform the Pili about the
Oh
tower's
yeah, let's tell
occupation?
them about the tower just in case they don't.
Oh, you were by the hive. Oh gosh, no, don't go anywhere near there. No, 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 no. Crazy, crazy, crazy. No, 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 please don't. That's yeah. Did you get a good look at it?
Oh yeah.
Too
Yeah,
good
it's
of a look.
scary. It's scary. Yeah. That's yeah. Um, yeah,
Question:
we sure.
Are the bugs averse to light? Just like shining light?
Like sunlight?
Not sunlight, but like sudden bright light.
Don't know. We don't have a way to make a sudden bright light.
All right. Just wondering because I did cast a light spell towards one, and it seemed to be really disoriented.
Okay. The people who around here who understand you make this, sign. You do. A couple of them fall to their knees. They're like, "Oh, great one. Don't turn the evil eye on us. We have done nothing. We've treated you well." They apparently don't know much about magic except from the old stories. And magic in the old days destroyed the world. So hey, yeah, they're scared of you now that you're talking about casting the spells and whatnot. Yeah. So what do you do?
I do explain where my, like, I guess, magic comes from and my mission with it.
Mhm.
Hoping maybe it puts them like less on edge.
Okay. And you hear some muttering. One of them was talking about how you all helped out. Oh no, that was the Reki. Um.
They took
Okay.
the
So
dog
you
too,
said,
right?
yeah, but that wasn't around them. They heard that, but that was Xander. Xander in both cases was healing people. Um. So Ranveer. Um. You're trying to like show them that you're not harmful, you're helpful,
Yes.
and you wanted to use magic to do that.
Sure.
Okay. Um, it would be trivial to have an accident to get bruised, busted, banged up, broken bones, whatever, um, out here. It's a dangerous, ruined place full of things to fall into and monsters to jump out and eat you. So you can see a couple of people with visible injuries. They're recovering, but um, what would be your attitude about casting some healing med?
I would not be opposed.
Okay, cast a spell for me, please. Easily done. Um, and all right, so you find somebody that's got again some obvious recent injuries, and work your magic on them, and they're like, oh, the wounds like uh turn to scars instantly, and oh, I can move my hand better again. Oh, I'm really hungry though. Yeah, you're gonna be hungry. So they're mowing down some chow, and they're like, yeah, I feel a lot better. Okay, so they're a little bit more well disposed towards you, and at least one or two are looking like they're not afraid of you anymore, or at least not as afraid, maybe wary. All right, but you're all set other than that. What do you do?
Let's go.
Okay, I need one of you, let me explain first. I need one of you to make an observe roll. Any one of you can also assist that person with the observe roll. Can do a pop or drop on that. But again,
Not it.
not it. Observe
No.
is based on cool. So whoever wants to do that.
I wonder who out of us has a +3 and
3.
cool.
I wonder who, guys. I think you want to do it really bad.
I'll prop, yeah.
You don't have to do that.
Give me a roll, Luther.
All right. My back
Beautiful.
hurts from carrying this whole team.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful.
jeez.
How do I get out of this BS outfit? Yeah. Okay. So the one thing I'm going to give you, Luther, is just with a combination of things. Subtle things like certain scratches on the ground. You're looking at a place and you're realizing maybe it was an old street full of like shops and whatnot. and it looks kind of like everything else, except you look and all of the metal fixtures have been taken down. You know, all the signs and all, you know, there's been like nails pulled out, obviously, bolts loosened and removed. So with a combination of everything and just a little bit of gut reaction, you think you can tell when you've gone from not bug territory into places where they're kind of are. You're sort of feeling your way through what is and what isn't. Okay, so skirting around the obvious signs of bug activity. Again, you're keeping an eye on the sky. You think you do see some flyers in the distance. Again, now that you kind of know what you're looking for, you don't hear that hum, that buzzing hum that you've heard a couple of times before. But you make it back around to the abandoned outpost. Your call. You can either go inside and have a little shelter from above, or lurk in the environs. Up to you.
Do we want to go in? Wasn't our whole goal?
Yeah, let's.
Okay. So from the last time, you don't think you're 75 to 90% sure that no one else has been in here since the last time you were here. Are you just going into the first room or searching the whole place again?
Let's go to the barracks.
Okay. So
And does anyone want to search? Because if no one else is searching, I'm gonna go just make sure that everything is okay.
okay. So the barracks is the first place that you went into. So that's a short trip. Are you're just making the rounds?
Yeah, yeah. I think
Okay,
I'll start with the top. I'll go the way that we initially went.
perfect. Go ahead and give me an observe roll, please. Okay, perfect. That's all I needed to know. The one thing that sticks out in your head, I'll give you the too long didn't read. You go around the entire place again. Um, every indicator you have is that you all were the last people in here. So,
Okay.
that being said, the one thing that sticks out in your head is in the armory. Specifically, that one peg of crossbow bolts. It's sitting there. It's again obviously designed to pack in as many crossbow bolts so that you can pull them out, twang, slap, whatever. It's literally the only thing of value in here. Literally the only thing of worth. And it's sitting over there in the corner.
It's still in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And what is one thing that you know for sure about the people who left?
They would take everything with them if.
Okay, except if
Except if it was trapped.
bingo.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so that's the only fly in the ointment. Pardon the pun. So what do you do?
Where I think I'll call Luther and Ranveer in here, and then just
Okay.
ask if they want to check this out and see what the trap is. Because I know Luther's good at looking at stuff, and Ranveer's good at finding traps, apparently.
Okay. Yeah, Luther, go ahead and give me an observe roll, please. Oh yeah, easy, easy. All right, so between the two of you, you're checking this thing out. The keg is slightly tilted, and so you're able to peek under there. You know those gemstone fireball things? Yeah, there's one underneath this. And just eyeballing it, you're like, oh. If you go to lift the keg, There's a really simple but effective mechanism that would crush that fireball gem. Yeah. So the good news is it was pretty easy for someone to kind of push it in there and set it. So it's pretty easy to get that out. So whoever wants it can be carrying one of those fireball gems. And now you have a keg of uh, about 8 ammo for the crossbow. It's going to weigh every 3 ammo is going to weigh 1 weight. So let's call it 9. So you got 3 weight worth of 9 ammo. If you want to hang on to that. But other than that, it's just like you left it. It's like going away to college. Tiki. We left the room just like you left it. All right, and it is now pushing 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Trying to stay on the same schedule. We're going to go for a bio break here pretty quick since they are at a stopping point. Please tune in about 10 minutes. We're going to be live and exciting back here on No Theoretical Bias. And thanks for showing up. Thanks for sticking with us this far. Again, anyone interested in the system that we're running today, it's called Splintered Moon, available on itch.io. It is a Powered by the Apocalypse hack by yours truly. And any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, kudos, conniptions, conundrums, go ahead and drop us a line. Put some mentions in the comments there. Should be a lot of contact information on this YouTube channel. So yeah, ask some questions, make some comments, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, and we will see you back in about 10 minutes. Thank you so much. Welcome back, folks, to No Theoretical Bias. All right. Our Fortress of Bone crew is currently holding up in an abandoned outpost of the Dominion, a group of knights and associated other hangers-on trying to exert their will on the world to unknown purposes, strangely enough. All right. So, still headed for the ruined fortress that you've heard of. So this is going to be a travel trackless waste situation. You're going to need the quartermaster is not going to be as important since it's less than a day's travel, but scout and trailblazer are going to be two biggies. And again, that is a cool roll. Who wants to do what?
Luther, what do you want to do? Basically, Luther picks one. We'll supplement the rest.
I'll be scout.
All right. I can roll Trailblazer.
Okay. So. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Let's see. Well, you are able to avoid some trouble on your way. And the situation is pretty dire. What happens is you're moving around and through the territory, and you hear the sound of like lots and lots and lots of feet moving. Okay. A large group of something is moving your way through bug territory. What do you do?
Is this feet like you can you can hear it's like metal and boots, or is it just like da 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 da?
More of the latter, but it's not just skitter, skitter, skitter. It's boom, 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 boom.
I don't think it's any kind of like millipede or centipede kind of thing then.
More feet than that. So, again, something's headed your way. What do you do?
Do you guys just want to brace, or do you want to like?
I mean, if it's like shaking the ground,
We should
do we
hide.
fight?
We should hide.
Okay. What's the consensus?
Okay, what kind of area are we in? Could we hide, or
You're,
are we kind of in?
this is not an area that's been picked clean, but this is an area that does show signs that like bug maybe patrols might have been through here. Scouts,
Okay.
you don't know. You don't even know how smart they are.
Let's hide.
Okay. So, whoever's got the lowest, you got time. Yeah, you got time to prepare. Somebody want to give me a sharp roll, please?
Who's good at sharp?
I could.
I got
I have
two.
two.
Oh, you do it. Or I can do it.
I don't know why it's not.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Okay, good enough.
I mean,
All right.
Okay.
So you find some places to grab some hiding spots. And that's when you see it's not again the old ruined city. It's got this must have been a really cool place when it was up and around. So there's like side streets and alleys and all that. There's a fairly major thoroughfare, or used to be, probably 50 yards ahead of you, 50 meters ahead of you. So you all take hidey positions, and that's when this huge column of these giant bugs go by. You see some look like most of them, probably 20 or 30 of them, look like giant ants with like an asterisk. They look like giant ants, but um, again in these different shades of green, blue, and gray. Um, there's about 6 that are up weird. They're still obviously bugs, but like their middle legs are longer, and so they've got kind of 2 leggies in front, and they're instead of like this, they're like semi upright, like centaurs almost. And there's um, about 5 of those looking around on the outskirts, kind of sort of moving everybody else along. Um, there are these big ones that seem to be mostly heavy wings. They look weird. It's a small bug, small, size of a dog, but they've got these huge, like heavy wings. Not really sure about that. There's 2 of the giant um, house size beetle things. If you can imagine, like, what do they call them? An elephant beetle or a rhinoceros beetle, but they're just big. And these are the ones that are making the earth shake with every step. And then there's 3. They look like stink bugs. You know what I mean? Like bug with like this big thing, big bulbous end with a spray snout at on the butt. Um, but yeah, so 25, 30, 35 to 40 of these giant bugs, and they're definitely going from point A to point B um, in a column. You're not really sure what the point A and the point B are, but it seems like a well coordinated effort. So what do you do?
Obviously, nothing to disturb that.
Okay. Okay.
What do you think?
I'm not doing anything.
Moku needs some comforting there,
Me and
Luther.
Moku are
Yeah,
just gonna
Moku's
huddle
like
together.
Moku's like shivering against you, and so you have to pat Moku until Moku calms
Now,
down.
the 5 that are like this, are those like mantises?
Excuse me. Um, sort of. Um, all of these things look like weird mashups of 5 or 6 bugs that you have seen. Like the really big ones, they're like that's very beetle, but they've got broad, flat like fronts, like almost look like bulldozers. Um, the flying ones, and you don't see any flying ones or hear them. The flying ones were like wasps, but again, odd proportions. And again, those are obviously their big deal is to grab something and to fly away with it. Um, the ant-like ones, yes, but so the kind of upright ones, if you crossed an ant with a praying mantis to get the kind of upright vibe, their heads seem to be larger than they really need to be. Um, yeah. So yeah, kind of a mantis ant kind of a thing. Sure, you could go with that. What's anybody else do?
Okay. I want to be watching. I feel like them walking in a column is an indication of maybe like I don't want to say the level of their intelligence, but how organized is it? Is it like the heavy hitters are here and the weak ones are in the middle, and
Oh, it's very obvious to you and to Albrecht. Um, no, when you're moving a military force, you've got the vanguard, and the van is the most important stuff. Okay, the need to be protected. You've got the outriders and scouts and whatnot. So it's like layers, you know. And that was obviously their an organized, coordinated force. This didn't look like insect intelligence. This looked like, it just looked like some bug sergeant was like, all right, we're going to be in, we're going to be in bad guy territory here, folks. So I want a nice tight formation. I want you buggy guys over here, and I want these buggy guys, and you got to protect the big house bugs. Okay, they're our main thing. They've got to get to the objective. All right, are we clear on this? All right, break, go. It's very intelligently organized and moved. And both of you military types are like, yeah, that if that's an emergent like bug intelligence behavior, that's really, really, really complex. Okay, so anyway, and the fact that they all look different. It's like, wait a second, we got wasps and ants and kind of beetles and kind of stink bugs and what the hell? It's just, yeah, it's weird. All right, so you do make it to what you think is your objective. Let me do a little bit on the map here. And you go from like the outskirts of bug territory. Pretty clear to everybody involved that yeah, that you're in bad guy country. When the armored column drove by, you hiding in the rubble. All right, so ahead of you is signs of a massive fortress brought down. There was a hell of a fight here. And again, those of you who know a little bit about, the arts of war, there's a lot of collapsed buildings around here. In some cases, you think you see like constructed like roadblocks or barricades. That building fell down, but someone or something piled up a bunch of rubble into the alley next to it on purpose. But yeah. So ahead of you is a huge monumental type building. You don't know if it was originally a fortress because it's obviously, part of the landscape. And probably at one point was very beautiful. You see signs of like marble facing and, remains of arches and things. It's sort of grown over with this blackish gray vine. Very, temple in the middle of a jungle, lost temple in the middle of a jungle kind of vibe to it. And again, looking at it, if you kind of squint, you're like, man, back in the day, that would have been just a centerpiece of some beautiful city here. The other thing you notice is wreckage and destruction and fire and like, yeah, whatever happened here probably happened long enough ago that you're not going to find like old blood stains. But this at one point was probably a pretty nice place. You see signs where there was a lot of concerted effort to make it more defensible. Okay. Some of the some of the lower level like windows and things were bricked over. Okay. There's gaping holes in the sides of the walls. Burnt holes. Those are a little weird. There's one down off to the right. It looks like you took a blowtorch to like a thing of clay. So this huge scorch mark around this huge hole. And the stone looks melted almost. You're seeing signs of like some outbuildings that were probably in use. There was a at one point a fairly significant wall around the place, knocked down, dragged out, et cetera, et cetera. And it was just, and every sign you see is that the bugs came through here in force. You're like, huh, that's that hole knocked in that wall. Is that about that's about the size of one of those big house bugs. Just knocked it right down. And just again, you got some of those burn holes that go down at an angle too. And you're like, oh, that's really dark down there. So this is a fairly massive, completely ruined and overrun fortress. And there's not a lot moving around here. So what do you do?
Let's go in, but carefully.
Okay.
What's up, Xander?
All right. If somebody wants to give me an observe roll, and if somebody else wants to give a pop or drop with that, I'll give you an overall overview.
I'm sorry, what roll for the first one?
It's just an observe. Beautiful. Luther, you're just a dude. Okay. So you're moving through the space very cautiously, crossbows at the ready, magic at the ready, whatever. Those burned holes in the ground that go down at an angle, you find them later from the inside. Xander and Albrecht can talk about a very well ordered, very well maintained defense in depth fort. Okay. Somebody who really knew what the hell they were doing set this up. So the bad guys have to fight through this, and then they run into some problems, and then they have to fight through this, and they run into some more problems. And we got the murder holes over here, we got the boiling oil over there. This at one point was a really, really, really hard walnut to crack. Okay. And then somebody came along and did it. Must the damage to the attackers must have been immense. And the standard military thought is if you outnumber the guys on the inside by about 5-1, you got a 50-50 chance of taking the fort. This was a hard fight. The other thing you notice is that it has been stripped almost bare. You don't find any you don't find any bodies, you don't find any gear, you don't find any weapons, armor, food, anything. It's in most places it's just bare walls. Bare walls, bare floor, bare ceiling. You see signs where things have been removed and taken out. You might see some signs of like old blood stains around, especially at the real good defensive choke points, when all the bad guys had to come down this one corridor and they were getting wasted on three sides. But yeah, whoever took this place took it all the way. The upper floors are mostly cracked and ruined. probably an aerial assault from that direction. And then they've got the basements, okay, the dungeons, and you schmy around in there again. From the smell, probably like storerooms. Um, the one's got enough oil smell to it. This was probably an armory or someplace where they repaired armor. Um, but you don't find anything. You don't find anything bigger than a penny made out of metal. Um, and they also had like extensive tunnels, either constructed or they were already here. Hard to tell. Out to some of those outbuildings. When the bugs came in, some of those burn holes were straight down into the tunnels, and you're just thinking, man, if me and 16 guys in full plate armor were waiting down here, and suddenly the roof melted and 3,000 bugs came charging in here, that would be a little scary. So it's sobering. Um, uh, because the fortress was big enough and was well defended enough that they had a full contingent here, which might be 300 to 500 effectives, and it got stomped flat. So, you make your discoveries. That takes several hours to determine, but you reconvene. Um, there's like a antechamber, maybe an old guard room that seems to be pretty well standing pretty well. You're thinking guard room because there were stone benches set into all the walls, so people can sit. Um, but you all end up back there empty-handed. What do you do?
Luther, is there anything that makes you want to go explore anything?
Uh,
Luther, what's your key?
I'm my key is to sacrifice things to my lantern,
Interesting.
and there's nothing here that I really could sacrifice, I guess, because
Yeah.
as we said, there were no dead bodies or anything.
Hmm.
Why?
I was just wondering. Um, I mean, do you guys just want to like look around a little bit more, or just be done?
I mean, there has to be something else that's interesting in here, so why not?
Okay. Let's look through then.
Okay. And about that time, you hear some movement from, you think it's inside the fortress itself. Um, something's the way you came in, the entryway, the main gates were knocked down pretty hard, but it was still a pretty easy way in. Um, so there was something's moving just inside the main gates. What do you do?
Like, is it like earth shaking or just like
No.
normal feet?
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, you hear it's a small movement, but it's something. Yeah,
Let's
possibly even something that doesn't want to be heard.
you guys want to just go?
We
Um,
could scope it out. We don't have to immediately attack.
Something you've noticed about Moku, Luther, is Moku really doesn't like bugs. Moku is not acting like he smell. Is it he or she?
It's a he.
He. Moku does not act like he's smelling bug.
Okay.
Let's
Who's a good boy?
let's let's go confront this person
Okay. You're greeted with a very strange sight. There is you see the armored back of a tall, again, relatively imposing specimen, humanish form, 2 legs, 2 arms, and a head, helm. The helmet once had like a horsehair crest on it that's been badly singed and burned and damaged. Probably dyed blue at some point. And hearing your approach, this person turns around. Impressions. Paul, uh, in the armor of a Dominion knight, really thin, beard down to about where his belly button would be, a little wild-eyed, not like fully chugging around the bend, but wary at the very least. And he's got a scabbard, it's empty, and he's got a spear. Still has his shield. And he turns and he makes a motion like he's going to get in it, like he heard you too late and he's going to try to get into a defensive. But then he recognizes that you are people and that Xander, no matter what Xander is, Xander looks kind of knightish and grounds his spear and says, "If you come in peace, you are welcome at the fortress of the South. If not, defend yourselves." What do you do?
This is your territory.
All right.
We either smack this man or we don't smack this man. Ranveer, what are you thinking?
We don't smack.
Okay.
He didn't attack us first. There's no need for us to attack him.
True.
So I kind of like stand out from the group, introduce ourselves, that we're just a group of wanderers found this fortress in here.
Wanderers, you say? Yon fellow has the look of a knight. Yon fellow has the look of a warrior. You, with the lantern, you smell of something dangerous. Though your dog is in good health and good cheer. A mark in your favor. And you, little brother, you seem out of place. But my apologies. Where are my manners? I am Sir Gavinius of the Dominion, called by some the Battle Wolf. Welcome to the Fortress of the South.
This fortress, and I kind of like mention it, like the whole ruin thing.
Yes. Sadly in terrible disrepair. But the fight was valiant, and the losses were great. And not all battles are won. My apologies. Alcuin, and this other armored figure steps out of you think it was probably an old guard room. Again, a little incongruous. He's got armor like the not the main knights, but like the guardian types. Rala was telling you about. They've got knights and they've got guardians and they've got whatever. He's got the armor of a guardian, two things immediately stand out. He has a horrific scar across the front of his neck. Hard to figure how he survived it. He's got a very grim look to his eye, and instead of like a sword or an axe or whatever, he has got a cleaver, like a kitchen cleaver. Again, pretty sizable. Looks like you could take apart a cow with this thing really easy, but it's not a weapon of war. It's a cleaver. Ah, Brother Akuan, our guest. This is the good brother. Forgive his lack of a greeting. He took an injury that robbed him of his voice, but he is as staunch a guardian as one could ask. So, what brings you to the environs of the Dominion, and how might we serve?
Well, as I said earlier, we are a group of wanderers. We've gotten pretty deep into this territory, and we just found the fortress. We were looking around. It's very empty.
Aye, 'tis true, 'tis true. Well, therein hangs a tale, gentlefolk. I have great shame that I cannot offer you the water and the food of friendship. But I swear on my oaths that I mean you no harm and will allow none to come to you if it is within my power. If you would please. Oh, Brother Alcuin looks kind of skinny too, FYI. So, the Sir Gavinius gestures to this old guard room, and you go in. If you do, you don't have to follow them, but they disappear in there with, hey, come and follow us moves. What do you do?
I'm gonna follow, just so
Okay.
like it's manners.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow you, Ranveer, but I'm only following you to be polite.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do any talking, Ranveer. I'm very I don't want to say angry. I'm very disgusted, I guess, just because I already don't like them, and he's posing and he's saying these like, oh, my oaths and my truths and the same things that led them to enslaving people. So
Oh yeah, I'm not thrilled either.
I'm
I'm just
not
like
very happy with
with the
them.
face.
Yeah.
I think knowing that this is a south tower or whatever, there has to be something useful here. So I think me and Moku are just gonna go snooping around.
Hmm. Oh, okay. So you're going to schmy off. All right. Albrecht, what are you doing?
I think I'm probably going to go with Ranveer and Xander, as
Okay.
Albrecht is a soldier himself.
Okay. All right. So, you sit down. Gavinius takes off his helmet, which has seen better days. This dude is filthy. Okay. Hair, he had his hair braided up and wrapped around his head. It makes good padding for a helmet. And it goes down, again, down his back past his waist. Leans back, leans his spear up, and he sets his shield aside. I fear we offer you cold comfort, gentlefolk. And it is a sad tale indeed. And he proceeds to tell you the story of the fortress of the south. Probably 9 years ago. Again, reading between the lines a little bit here. About 9 years ago, the Dominion decided to move in a sizable force to the Dead City. It started out as like a recon in force, and they found some defensible places, and we're like, okay, dangerous, but not too dangerous. We've seen worse. found this place that they named the Fortress of the South, started renovations on it, and actually started a small colony here. He, points out the little windows, tiny little arrow slits, and said, "Over here we were planting this and that, and sending forays into the city for intelligence and whatever gear and salvage they could find." So, and all was well until the insects, the bugs arrived. We thought them merely a nuisance, and our patrols ran into stronger and stronger uh, defenders, and then the patrols stopped coming back, and there's a brilliant food source. I don't know what the ancients had planned there, but fruits and water and abundance, smell of flowers, beautiful. But obviously a contested resource in this place. We sent out a war band to take it. I was in the van. Fighting was fierce, and my brothers fell. I was gravely wounded and only saved by the actions of good brother Alcuin. Alcuin nods. Though he was gravely injured as well. We found a place to hide, used what limited aid and healing we had. Good brother nursed me back to health, and we made our way back here to see the fortunes of the colony and the fortress, and discovered it much like it is today. Apparently, the bugs attacked in great numbers. Apparently, walls knocked down and holes burned, and the blood was everywhere. And we searched and found nothing. We tarried too long, and they had stripped it bare as a feast day turkey. But my last orders were to stay and defend the colony. And so we have. And again, to my shame, I fear that my people and the leaders of my folk need to know what happened here. But our stores and stocks are not such that would let us make such a long journey. So we have eked out an existence here, scrounging what little food and water we can, and endeavoring to persevere. So I know you not, gentlefolk, but if you had it in your hearts to assist an old knight badly used and a brave friend and warrior, we would beg your assistance. A 10 days worth of food and water would get us home and would help me defend the people I have sworn my life to stand for. What do you do?
I'm not in the room. Doesn't affect me.
Correcto.
Randy, are you saying anything?
I'm thinking.
Oh, I will give you this, Luther. You continue to find a whole ton of nothing. At one point, Moku thinks he spots something, and you investigate it. Yeah, it turns up not much.
He tried his best. That's all that matters.
I think you might have found like half of an old sock or stocking or something. No, pretty ripe. So what do you do?
Hmm. May I discuss in another room with my friends?
Yes, of course. Uh, the the guard room across the way has a bit of a draft. If you wanted to go down and around, there's an old oh, it's just a minor storeroom. It's down the thing, and he points it. You've gone past it. It again, it smells like old broom and vinegar. But yeah, it's a nice little secluded spot. So the three of you are in there. What do you do?
These people, while they do stand for not a great company, should they atone for sins of another? These are still people.
That's true. However, it is not within the interests. It is within the interests of the Dominion to know what happened here. And by consequence, it is in our interests for the Dominion to not know what is here. Um, I don't think that means that we silence the voices. I think it means that we redirect them. Um,
And how do you suggest we do that? This guy seems fairly patriotic.
yeah, he does. Um, and I'm willing to give him, and I'm willing to give him the ash meal cracker that I have. But beyond that, I don't really want to do anything for him. Um,
I have an idea.
uh-huh.
So uh, I noticed his friend looked
Mm-hmm.
fairly uh, weak and skinny,
Mm-hmm.
combined
They're both pretty skinny.
um, combined with the scar makes me think of a similar information with the dog.
Well, he probably doesn't have. He would have been dead by now if he had the insect in him, though.
Yeah,
Something, something that I think if you want to heal them, that's okay. I'm not going to. Um, I would, as much as I want to be kind to everyone, I think we're really seeing what the Rekka and what everyone else has talked about when they say that they believe themselves to be just.
Hey, uh, brother, brother Xavier, what are your three oaths to the Lord of Light?
Oh no, I'm gonna be called to do something. Hold on. Let's see. I have it written down. My oaths are: I shall protect the weak from the unrighteous. I shall
Okay.
give aid to any innocent who asks it of me. And I shall
Mm-hmm.
offer mercy to any foe I defeat, no matter how unworthy.
Giving aid to an innocent who asks it of me.
I'll give them my
Ooh,
ashmeal cracker.
you're okay. Okay. How many days worth of rations is that?
7.
7.
I can
Okay.
supply 3 other rations.
Okay, that would be 10.
You don't have to help them.
Yes, I do. That's my life
Oh,
mission.
is it?
The
I
trusting
can.
thing.
I'll give them aid. I also don't think that they're very innocent, but I'll give them aid.
Okay.
Um, my only it hurts knowing that they're gonna help other people hurt us in the future, possibly. Um, I don't know, but I'll give them my ash meal cracker.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
All
here's the
right.
thing: we don't have to give it to them for free.
Wow.
It could be something we could get from them in exchange.
We could, okay, maybe we direct them to a place where they could go resupply further. Um,
The nearby town.
it's 10. They said 10 days to the closest place for them. Um, I don't feel comfortable sending them to the Pilly. The Pilly don't want to be found out.
Absolutely. I'm not sending them there.
Um,
Yeah, we really need Luther back because we can't hear you otherwise. TV. So, all right. So what I'm hearing is give them something. I'm interested in that whole redirect. What do you mean by that?
if we send them to their other fortress, which doesn't have a whole lot, but it's less damaged. It doesn't have any food. Okay, hold on. I don't want to send them to the Pilly. We could send them to the Rekka and mm,
Do we
what
possibly like the Church of the Light is all about like finding the good in people, right?
yeah, that's part of it. Yeah.
Do we possibly want to send them out that way for rehabilitation, as well as
Rehabilitation
information gathering?
is it is closer though, right? Okay,
About
hold
the
on.
same.
About
About
the
the
same.
same.
Okay, about the same.
You could lie and tell them that it's closer.
Uh, giving them aid. I don't. I don't love the idea of lying though.
I'll do it for you if you want me to.
I mean, if I was there, I would lie, but I'm not there, so.
I mean, we would have to tell them where you're from. Like,
You know what? You know what? Actually, that's a good idea. Why don't we just continue a conversation? You tell them where I'm from. You tell them how close it is, and that's
we
it.
could
Just tell them how close it is, and say if you want to go there, you could get more food instead. Um, tell them that their other outpost was abandoned, and that we'll give them a little bit of food and water.
alrighty.
Because I can. It's a day's journey here, right? So I can give them 3, and we can still get back. Okay.
No, yeah, you're all fed for today.
Yeah, I can give them 3 water and get back. Okay.
So where are we sending? So we're sending them to Temple Lake.
I would like us to send them to the temple. Yes.
I agree.
Okay. So you return to the treaty room. They perk up a little bit when you come back in. As soon as you tell them that you can give up some food and water, they're very grateful. They thank you a lot. And the good knight, Trigavinius, ruffles through the bags and containers. Yes, yes, this would do. This would do. I am overwhelmed by your generosity, gentlefolk. We can make it home on these rations. We will endeavor to persevere. So I am in your great debt, friend Ranveer. Um, and he takes off a heavy ring. It's gold with a stone set in it and some fairly intricate carvings on it. And he hands it to you. And he says, this is the ring I was given when I took up my mantle as a knight of the Dominion. I will tell all of my people that the one who presents this ring is a true friend and who has offered aid in a time of need. You need just present that as a sign of your bona fides, and I swear that you will be given food, water, and shelter for any length of time as a kindness and a duty from me to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the light grows dim. Well, no better time than the present. We will make our way to the next way stop in our journey, and I thank you again. Poor that I am even poor in thanks. But I thank you. May I shake your hands?
At least for me.
Okay.
Yes.
And he does the whole arm grip thing where he grabs the wrist and looks you. He's got these intense blue eyes. Okay. And he's like he's trying to memorize your face. Like, and he offers his hand to Albrecht.
He doesn't care that much. No. Instead, Albrecht actually wants to ask the question of what is to become of this fortress after your departure.
It is as it is. I I'm I have been long out of the halls of power, warrior. I don't know the elders' plans for this place, but rest assured, if we are to retake the fortress in the south, I will be at the forefront. I will be the tip of that spear. Would 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 you take my hand in friendship?
He's only going to, Albrecht's going to do it only just as a courtesy without any emotion behind it.
Tis enough. Tis enough. And he turns open-handed to Brother Xander. You, my lord, Sir Knight, for you have the bearing of a knight, and one that stands in defense of others. I
Always.
sense I sense that you and I sense that this is not your first meeting with one of the Dominion.
No, it's not.
You have a wary look. I cannot speak for my brothers and sisters in arms. I cannot speak for the elders. But I would say I would do thee no harm in the world, and it would grieve me to see your face across a battlefield and know that we were at odds. But I would I would swear that if we are to be foes, I will be an honorable foe to you, and I will strike no ill blow. And if I were to
He'll
fall at your hand, I I would know that I was bested by an equal. Would you take my hand, Sir Knight?
I think
San.
Ranveer kind of like looks at him, but at Xander, maybe puppy dog eyes. Just do it.
So Xander is gonna go. He'll stare at the guy for a second and just kind of like. I feel like it's very obvious. There's a bunch of mixed emotions. Like I should do this because I just helped this guy and I need to be nice to him. But then also in my head is like, yeah, but he also represents the group that's might try to enslave my friends and people that I love so dearly. And then the third emotion is not related to any of those, and it's just like you're bound by honor. It's like, yeah, aside from courtesy, aside from hatred, you did what you did because of Hakara. You did what you did because you believe in this. And so he's gonna take the handshake, but it, the guy's doing like this handshake.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna go for the shallow, just the hand grip handshake, to
All
show
right.
that yeah, I'm shaking your hand, but this is out of respect to you, as a person and not because of who you are or what you come from.
And he gets the message pretty loud and clear. So he reaches over and coils his hair and slides his helmet over his greasy hair, fluffs out his beard a little bit, picks up this sword and spear, and then he salutes you. Dap of the spear to his face and a bow. May we meet in better times and under better circumstances, Sir Knight. I would know your name, please.
You may call me Brother Xander.
Brother Xander. Brother Xander. You will be in my thoughts, good brother. And it is my sincerest hope that one day I might offer you the aid and assistance that you and your friends have offered me. But we must be off. And so, again, the silent Brother Alcuin nods to all of you. And they leave pretty quietly for a couple of guys in armor. Maybe they learned something. And soon they're lost to sight in the ruins. What do you do?
I think we should find Luther so we can regroup with each other.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Luther comes back eventually. Moku has got this half a sock and is like, just rat killing it like left and right. This is his best day ever. He's living his best life. Tee. All right. So, do you leave anything out?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, yeah. So you get the full deets there, Luther.
You gave the people who have slaves food. You gave him food and water and sent him on his
I'm
merry
gonna,
way.
as Luther, as you're talking, I'm just gonna look at you, and I don't know if you're gonna make eye. Are you gonna make eye contact with me? Are you making eye contact with everybody? I'm just gonna
Sure,
look at you
yeah.
with a shut up, I know, type of look. Like it hurt really bad. I know.
All right. Let's get out of here.
So, yeah. Again, it's a little past midday. Oh, okay. So, what do you do?
So the outpost is a bust. Like
Mm-hmm.
no anything of value there.
Mm-hmm.
Did there seem to be anything in the chambers where they were compared to where they weren't?
Actually, yes. You do find one thing. Apparently, it was a book. It was a book. You have to take a look at it a little bit and again, kind of read between the lines. You think this was something from Brother Alcuin. It's written in a language that you understand. If there's like a local educated people language, like Latin used to be, um, you can name that language, and this is what it's written in. So educated person writes. Okay, this is obviously an ancient book that was scraped. When you've got vellum, um, you can kind of scrape the ink off carefully and write over it. So you could see some places where whoever scraped it, probably Brother Alcuin, did a good job and did not so good job. But it's a combination of like um, kind of like a daily log kind of thing. Um, and it hasn't been updated in a while. But you do take a look at that. Some information that you pull out fairly quickly. Um, there's some sort of hermit um, of questionable sanity living somewhere in the city. Alcuin's guess was somewhere south of here. Not sure. Um, and like half hermit, half like tinker. Not the friendliest sort, but will, talk first, um, before disappearing back into the ruins. Um, Apparently they did some trading for like food with this guy. Um, didn't write down a name, just the hermit, the tinker, probably calls him Tinker, the tinker. East of here is that again, he just calls it the garden. It's supposed to be, they talk about a fight with these plant creatures, these um, strange creatures that were mostly vegetable. It was one of the it was one of the Dominion's first big fights out here, and they were victorious. And they took this like garden spot, lush fruits, just everything growing madly there, and a source of fresh water. There's an annotation in the margins that said, yeah, the bugs probably took that at some point. And then mentions the beast men. The beast men. And you thought originally it was talking about like the rat folk, the Rekka. But it seems to be just from physical descriptions, it seems to be like dog folk, cat folk, like big cat folk. Just animal, human type beast people somewhere to the west. Not particularly welcoming, and the Dominion did have some inconclusive skirmishes with them. Mentions like forts, little forts, and of course they're hypothesizing that there's a bigger town or small, like a big settlement in there somewhere. So again, to the west and probably the south. So what do you do?
Let's
Well-
go to the hermit.
So with this journal and the ring, and what we've heard from the Dominion, we have pretty valuable intelligence. And having an inn at any of the Dominion's like holdings, we can find out more about what's going on like there and with them.
Yes.
So
Very possible.
I
Hmm.
we have some time. I have a little bit more water left, and Luther has some water. We can make it a couple more days here. If Luther wants to go to the Tinkerer, I feel like we haven't done much of what Luther wants in a while.
Yeah.
Let's Albrecht, are you okay if we go to the Tinkerer?
Yes.
Oh, I will tell you. The notes about the Tinker were some of the last stuff that whoever wrote this wrote it. The Tinker only really started showing up after the fortress fell. Tinker gave some indications that he knew that the Dominion was here, and may or may not have had a positive opinion of that, but they've only had any dealings with him since, because they needed food and water, and had a couple of things to trade for it. They don't know where to find him. He just kind of shows up sometimes. Oh, and there is an odd little note. Listen to him about the weather, whatever that means.
Okay. Do you guys want to go south then?
Heck yeah.
You want to go? Okay, south, west, or east?
Well, if he's known to the south, let's head south.
Okay. Yeah, let's go. Let's go south then.
Okay, so you are. Let's see. This would normally be a travel trackless wastes again, but something that happens fairly quickly. You're not terribly far from um, you're not terribly far from the old fortress. Making your way cautiously again, keeping eyes out for bugs and whatnot. When the wind picks up, bad, and the visibility starts to drop. Yet the bare minimum, you have a dust storm moving in. At the worst, it's a sandstorm. And when the wind gets going, that can take flesh off of bone. So, and all of you know it. The dog is even looking around for like shelter. What do you do?
Then
Is there any immediate shelter?
Um, I mean, um, uh, depends on how hard it hits and how quick. Um, but I mean, the obvious one would be the old fortress.
if we can get into the dungeon there, that should be perfectly safe.
Yeah,
Let's go,
in the
let's go back
basement.
then.
Very
Mhm.
possible. Okay, so let's see. If anybody feels lucky, wants to give me a luck roll. Good luck says it's not as bad as it could be. Bad luck says it's very, very, very bad.
2d6, right?
2d6, no modifier. Middle of the road. Okay, so your call, Luther. Is it something mild that lasts, or is it something bad that might not?
Something bad that might not last too long.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, this turns out to be a sandstorm, which all of you are familiar with. The problem is sometimes they can last for days, even weeks, depending on how bad they are. It's a combination of quartz sand, flecks of ash and mica and pumice. Um, and it can blow and blow and blow and blow and blow. Okay, so that's the bad news. This is a bad blow sandstorm. The good news is you do make it back to the environs of the Fortress of the South before the worst of it hits, so you don't take any damage. So let's see how long it lasts. Oh, let's see. You said it was a hard hitter, but it didn't last very long. Okay. So this one is actually fairly mild. It only lasts for 2 days. So everybody needs to mark off 2 uses of food and water. And it's howling and howling and howling and howling and howling. So you're going to be, you're pretty definitely going to be walking over dunes for a while. And yeah, so you do have to hunker down for that time. Actually, this is going to be a pretty good stopping spot for the session. We'll start next time with you digging your way out a little bit from the sand and making your next step in your journey. All right, end of session, folks. As a typical Powered by the Apocalypse game, we're going to do end of session. First question. check your motivations. Check your motivations. This is what gets you up and gets you going in the morning. Did any of you hit your motivational goal? Start with Albrecht. Yay or nay?
Unfortunately, not. I was hoping that the Dominion people would have been a little bit meaner.
Okay. What was your motivation?
Put them back in their place for lack of respect.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. If one thing that good Sir Gavinius was, it was very respectful and grateful. So yeah, nothing there. Oh, by the way, quick one. If and this is to everybody, if your motivation is something that's like helped you come up with the character, but it's not something that you've been hitting frequently, and there is a typical situation that would apply to your character that has been, feel free to talk to me about changing your motivation a little bit if it's still within the same realm. I don't want to penalize anybody for good role playing if it's just not if the thing that's supposed to happen doesn't. Ranveer, did you hit your motivation?
Yes, altruism. Use magic to aid another.
Beautiful. Mark experience. Luther.
Did I take a selfish action today? I don't think I
Going off
did.
by yourself.
Mm,
Wasn't
Maybe
really
No.
that.
I mean, okay. I'll tell you what could have happened and didn't. If you had hung around and been like, oh no, heck with these guys, I'm not giving up any of my food, that would have been a selfish action.
Mhm.
But not today. Xander, what do you think? Hit your motivation?
Yeah, I did a lot of. I had a lot of safeguard rules, so I
Yes.
endangered myself to protect somebody.
Yes, you did. Mark experience. All right, next up, keys. Check your keys. Did anybody try? I know Ranveer did. I know Ranveer did. Yes, all trusting. Oh no, he's just a poor little knight out here with his poor little buddy. Oh, okay. So Mark XP for that one. Xander, you were a leader. You were barking orders and taking names, and could have turned out worse, and it didn't. Mark experience. Luther, did your key get triggered this time? No? How
Nah.
about you? How about you, Albrecht?
Nope.
Not yet. Okay, next up, blood. Blood. What y'all think of everybody? What y'all your prime motivation in how you deal with each other? Did any of you have a fairly major change in attitude about one of the other players? Anybody? Anybody need to resolve blood? Okay. Second question. Does anybody want to add blood with one of these folks? You've learned something new. You've learned something, a new facet. Yeah, you still think that so and so is like this, but you're like, it contains hidden mysteries. Anybody want to add a blood with anybody?
I think that. Hold on. I want to give one to Ranveer. Um, I think Ranveer definitely had convinced me that this task was worthwhile. Basically, Ranveer talking to them is kind of the person. He's kind of the person who was like, well, you could give them a little food. You know, we don't have to let them just fend for themselves. I think he has convinced me that maybe before we attack the Dominion, we should first check out the Dominion. Before we assume that they're all
Oh,
evil, we should first like
gotcha.
scout it out a little
So,
bit.
so something about Ranveer can be very diplomatic, and maybe I can learn something from him.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, write down something to that effect, and go ahead and mark XP. Are you cool with that, Ranveer?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. All right. Anybody else resolve any blood? Okay, the big three. The big three. Did you defeat a noteworthy opponent?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flying giant wasps that were going to take your little covenant away. Yeah, you did. Everybody mark 1 XP. Second, did you recover a noteworthy treasure?
I'd
The
say
ring.
The ring.
with the ring in the journal.
The ring in the journal. Yes, either one of those would have been a good contender. So everybody mark 1 experience. Did you learn something new about the world?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. So everybody mark 1 experience for that. Huzzah. And last but not least, the gold stars. For those of you who watched before, you know gold stars are player awarded XP for any reason or no reason. So, let's start again. We'll go around the table. Albrecht, you start. Who gets your gold star for the evening?
Okay. Most of the things is entirely out of character because Albrecht wouldn't do it, but I think the gold star should go to Brother Xander
Really?
for putting aside his despising and
Yeah,
hatred of the
yeah.
Dominion.
Little bit of a moral quandary there, and had to go. It's like, well, do I go with my feelings or do I go with my oaths and my honor? Good. Yes. Excellent. And Ranveer, who gets yours?
I was gonna say Xander as well for the exact same
Mm,
reason.
see, picking him up, knocking him down here, good brother. You're gonna be like 15th level, and everybody else is gonna be like fourth. Crazy. All right, Luther, who gets yours?
I'm gonna give mine to Xander, but for a different reason.
What is it?
When Luther came back to the party and was questioning like, why the hell did you do that? I think the little moment that Xander and Luther had was like just a good character moment. So I
Oh
figured
yeah.
I'd give him the XP for that.
Oh yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, no, I like that a lot. That yeah. It again adds nuance. I can see either or both of you sometime in the future having some fairly significant opinions about the other. And so Tower of Power, Man of the Hour, Xander, who gets yours?
Um. Okay. Randveer and Albrecht. Who's closer to leveling up?
I'm level 6, but at XP 7, so
Okay.
not tonight.
Albrecht.
I am level 2 XP6.
Okay, yeah, it's going to Albrecht. I had reasons for both. So for Albrecht, my reason was because of the combat just absolutely smacking the bugs around.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, that it was quick. We didn't have to deal with it any longer than we had to. It was good. And then for Ranveer, it was for the little interaction of like, okay, just he did the diplomacy thing again. He just was our number one diplomat type person. So
Nice. Nice. So Albrecht, you're at 8 now, correct?
I'm at 7.
No, he just gave you one, so now you're at 8, right?
I was at 6.
Oh, you're at 6. Okay. And you're currently uh second level trying for third.
Yes.
Okay. Here's my gold star for the evening, just because you are all awesome. Guess what, Albrecht? You're third level now. Racer experience. I'll give you an extra one just for being the dude. Yeah, we haven't had a
So,
lot of stand up.
so that's 2 XP. You're giving me 2 XP points?
Correct. There haven't been a
Yeah.
lot of stand up fights recently, and I know that's what hammers are really really good at. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, hey, have you used any of your special weapon abilities?
I have not because
Okay.
I need a plus 12 for the hammer for storming, I think it's called.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. What are your weapon specialties again?
So uh I have butcher, which is for a dagger, which
Okay.
means I can ignore armor if
Good.
I'm grappling them, with
Right.
the exception of amorphous
Right.
entities.
Okay.
And then storm with the hammer, where on a plus 12 the foe is staggered and dazed and their armor is reduced by 1.
Oh, nice. 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 Okay. Cool. Alrighty. So thank you again, gentle beings, for being here. Thank you again, faithful viewers, for coming by and taking an eyeball and some time out of your busy lives to watch. Fantastic. Tune in next time, again next Sunday, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard, 3 to 6. Bring your friends, tell your mom, tell your grandma. We're kind of cool like that. And thanks again. Let us know what you thought. Okay. We are rapidly getting to the point where we're going to be setting up more stuff on Discord, probably Facebook for my sins, might even have an Insta page. But lots and lots of places where you can come and say nice things or not so nice things about No Theoretical Bias and all of our wonderful crews here. Please also do tune in to some of our other live streams. We have Uncharted Skies on Thursdays, and we have Pilot's Voyage currently running on Tuesdays. And you should be able to check out our calendar on that. So, once again, thanks for being here. See you next week.